Hi Sam, I just wanted to make a recording of the wireframes so that I could explain them all to you. It's a bit easier to do so this way than over email or even via phone. Yeah, so it'll hopefully be easier to understand as well. So obviously you approved the sitemap, but what I've done with that is create it into this more visual format. So I'll just talk you through that. So here you go, here's the home, and then you've got all these sort of different layers here. So underneath that you've got the treatments, and if you scroll down you've got stockist, about, gallery, online, booking, and if you carry up, then the treatments are split into beauty and aesthetic, and then so on and so forth. So hopefully that makes sense. And obviously it's quite a large site, so yeah, that's why we have to scroll quite far. But you'll notice all these colour codes on them as well. So what I've done is I've mocked up wireframes for each page type. So there's no point obviously doing the same one for each of these individual pages. So wherever a page or 2 pages or 3 pages share one template, they're represented with these colours. So you'll see all the green ones are the individual treatment pages, or the yellow or the orange ones, sorry, are the treatment groups, I'll call them. And if I scroll down, obviously the home has got a different template altogether as well, and so has stockists and etc, etc. So I hope that all makes sense. So the next bit I want to explain to you is just how I've set up the navigation on the website. So imagine this is the top of the website, so your navigation, and this is split out as per the sitemap that we signed off. So at the start we've got aesthetic treatments, beauty treatments, stockist of, about, pricing, gallery, contacts. Obviously we can change names of things as appropriate, but for now that it just sort of guides us. So if somebody hovers over the aesthetic treatments, they get a list of all the treatments under that. So, and I've grouped them as well. So under facials, we've got all of these, and then the others, which I'm not sure if they can be grouped any other way, but I've just called them other treatments. So it's going to be quite a big menu, but I think that's the best way to get everything across. More so for the beauty treatments side of things, because you've got a lot to offer under here. I did toy with just going for the anti-aging facials, all these headings instead, but I thought, if someone's looking for something really specific and they know what they're looking for, then having to go through an extra click would be annoying. So if they can just hover over this and find it immediately, it will be much easier for them. So that's what I've decided for that. Hope that's okay. And then obviously the only other drop down menu here is going to be stockist of, where we've got all the stockists listed there. So that's the menu system explained. So now let's move on to the home template. So you see up in the corner here I've got the red square. This is colour coded with the sitemap, so you'll always be able to understand which pages are going to be using which template, hopefully. So I hope that all makes sense. And obviously at the top, let me just iterate actually, that this is a guidance in terms of exactly where all the elements will be going on the page, but it's likely to change slightly obviously when we come to the design. So the wireframes are purely just so we know that we've got all the elements that we need on the page. And if there's anything missing, hopefully it'll be really easy to spot, and you can guide me and tell me that I need to add stuff in or even take stuff out. So just keep that in mind. I mean, don't get bogged down with saying, oh, I think that element should be lower down in the page and whatnot. So that's just to sort of guide you what kind of feedback I need from this at this stage. So the logo up the top here with the navigation as standard, and here we've got sort of the main banner area, and it will be a visual one, so there'll be an image. This cross always represents an image. And on the left here we've got the value proposition, which it's basically, I guess, a strap line, but it really needs to be clear. and it needs to communicate and appeal to people who come onto the website. So we don't want something that just says spalicious health and beauty treatments. So that's just sort of talking about you, really. What you want to do is to really appeal to them. So we're kind of going down the salesy route here, but it's really important. It's a psychological thing, and people really respond to this kind of approach instead. So if they come on here and see face and body beauty treatments that get results, they'll be like, oh, okay, that's good, and we'll immediately know what they're going to get if they browse this site and then they sign up. So if they are reading something that says spalicious, a beauty salon in Gerrards Cross, it doesn't really provoke much desire, does it? So that's the kind of mindset we need throughout all the website with the copy that you create as well. So I hope that makes sense. And just under here we expand on that a little bit more. So I mean, I've just put a demo one in here for now that says treat yourself and your skin to all the latest available aesthetic and beauty treatments available for all skin types and see instant results. So hopefully that'll give you an idea of what kind of thing we need. So under here, obviously the two main sections of what you offer are the aesthetic side and the beauty side. So those are the two main call to actions here on the homepage. So you need to, it's basically good for communicating that you offer these two things, and then getting them to click on these buttons to go into the site further. And we also discussed in our meeting that you want to sort of push the aesthetic side more. So we need to make a little bit more of a feature of it on your website. So underneath there, I've added an area for you where you can actually add featured treatments that you're offering. And for the moment, I've put featured aesthetic treatments. And just 3 I've randomly picked for an example. So you'll have the ability though to change those whenever you need. So I think that's really good, because when you have new treatments in that you want to push, or you've got old ones in that you really want to start selling more of, then you just put them on this homepage, because it will get more people will see it basically. And then underneath that, I mean, the other thing, when people come onto a website, they're like, oh, can I trust these people? They're immediately looking for reasons to book or reasons to sign up with you. So one of those tactics is testimonials, as we discussed. So here I'll give you an area for one testimonial. But you can obviously change that. You'll have the ability to change that whenever you need. And underneath that, we've got the gift vouchers, which we discussed that you would like to make more of a thing of. So they can, and it's also good because if people are browsing on here for gifts, then they know immediately after browsing the homepage that they can purchase them. So they can do that there. Clinic opening hours, that's just something that people really need and are looking for when they come onto a website as well. So if they're browsing on their mobile, then they'll probably be just looking for times and when they can call or when they can, come by. So that's important to have on the homepage. And the other thing was the newsletter sign up. So that's also on the homepage. It's on every page as well, but I'll talk you through that. And then this is the footer, and it's just listing some of the main aesthetic treatments, beauty treatments, the gift vouchers again, and then some contact information as well, and some social media links as well. I mean, I did try and find your spalicious Instagram, but I couldn't, so I might need you to send me the link to that, because it would be good to have a look if you can. Right, so that's the home page. Now let's go on to the treatment groups. So let's just go back to the sitemap. So the treatment groups, as I said before, are just all these with the orange ones. So they're everything that has sort of a group of treatments underneath. So the aesthetic treatments will have facials, dermal fillers, Visoderm, I'm not going to pronounce all of that. And then facials will have all of these underneath. So it's anything that has several pages underneath, basically. So if we come onto here, it will be clearer. So I'm focused on pigmentation facials as a random example. We'll have a banner up here and a title which is clear. Under here I want you to write just an overview of pigmentation facials and why somebody might want to, it might be important for somebody to book one. I mean, this page as a whole is going to be really good for search engine optimization. So, as much text as you can put in these, the better, basically. And then underneath that, we've got a title that says available pigmentation facials, and that will be available facial treatments. It could be available, whatever group it is. And then underneath will be the list of all the treatments there is available. So underneath pigmentation facials, there are just 3. So obviously I've just put 3, but if there are 8, then we'll have all of them listed under here, and then they can click through. But it's a good way for people who aren't quite sure. They know they've got pigmentation, troubles, for example, so but they don't know which one. If they're just browsing the navigation, they don't know which one they want. So rather than going through each one individually, it's a good way to sort of quickly view them all and then decide which one's probably more relevant. So these descriptions here need to be really clear as well, what they're going to get from it. And again, people are still not sure at this point whether they want to sign up with you, assuming it's a new user, of course. So again, another relevant testimonial here to this actual treatment group would be really, really good if you can get it. So let me know if you can't, because obviously it might look a bit odd if there isn't one in there. And then underneath this, I've just got book your pigmentation facial, so there's a call to action there, or they can buy a gift voucher. And as per the footer on the homepage, it's all here, but I've also put the newsletter sign up there as well. But the main call to actions on this page is firstly getting them through to one of these pages, or if they've already they know just from browsing these which one they want, they can book just by clicking there, and it will take them to a more generic booking page. So once they click through, say on one of these, they will go through to the treatment page. So let's go on to that next. So this page I really need you to pay a little bit more attention to and really, really think of all the elements that would be really useful to your customers, what kind of things they need to know before coming in, what's going to sell it to them. So I've done, after a bit of research on other people's websites and seeing what they do, and also thinking, from our past experience with your website as well, what's best. I've put together this. So here's the title here. Here's just an overview. Again, as much text as you can put into it, just on the treatment really, the better. So that's good. Here I've got before and after image. So is that something that you can supply for each treatment? That would be good to know, if you can let me know. And then on the right here I've got additional details, which is just sort of a quick view box full of the things that people need to know ASAP. So, okay, I'd like to book this. Do I need a consultation? No. Okay, good. I can book the full whack. Treatment time, that's also really useful to know. How long are the results going to last? If it's applicable. Are there going to be after effects? I think that's quite important to know, especially obviously for the aesthetic side of things. Is this a one-off treatment or recurring? I guess, for things like the IPL or waxing, you could say one-off / ongoing, or it could be regular, that kind of thing. But it'll just allow you to add in these details here, and obviously the price is super important. If there are going to be multiple options, if it is waxing and you can have leg, underarms, etc., then just put from and the cheapest price, and then it at least gives people an idea. Because that's something that's always going to be required at this stage. And then underneath that we've got book now, so that obviously we want people to book, so that's we need to make that really obvious. But so on the left here, this extra text is really important, I think, because especially again for the aesthetic side of things, what results are they going to get? You need to sell it. Why do they need this treatment? If I were looking for, I don't know, an anti-aging treatment, then I would really want to know, okay, what am I going to get out of it? And be really descriptive as well. Be really clear. So, right, I've made a section for that, separately, so it's obvious. And then what to expect. Okay, so what is this derma roller thing? what am I going to get when I go in there? So, you know, it's about preparing people and setting their expectations. So they're not scared. They know what to expect. If it's going to hurt, if it's not, etc., etc. So I think supplying this kind of text would be really, really important. There may be other things like that you would like me to add. So let me know. And also frequently asked questions. I mean, I'm sure, you know, from experience, you've had a load of questions on all of the treatments. So it's about preempting them and basically answering all the questions you can before to avoid them sort of going, oh, I'm not sure, and not booking. If you can answer everything here on this page for each treatment, then they are more likely to book. So I would advise you having a real think about that if you can. I know this is obviously a lot more work than you've got on your current website, but it's my advice if you really want this to be a resource for people that, you know, takes a lot of work off your hands and brings in more business. So it's definitely worth thinking about in more detail. And again, I've got another testimonial, so this needs to be directly relative to the treatment on this page. So hopefully you can gather some of those. That would be great. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else for the additional details for this area that you need to add or would like to add, or you know, if the before and after photo, just one before and after photo is okay, or if you want more. I don't think we should overload it with before and afters because that can look a bit. It can detract really from, you know, the main salesy point, I suppose, but having at least one good quality one I think will really, really help on each page. So have a think about that. Okay, so now onto the stockist template. So fairly straightforward really. So this is a stockist for, I've taken the example of Medicate. Just do a nice write-up of Medicate here, and again, obviously this will really help for your SEO, so the more text you can write here the better without going too much. And then underneath here I've put I've put the facility so that you can add all the different treatments that you've got for Medicate. So they might be in all different categories, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to list them all here, because if somebody comes onto this page from the search engines, they won't have seen your homepage or anything else, so they'll come straight to this page. So you need to get them into the site further, and that's how these work. And also, because you mentioned that a lot of people hear about these treatments and then buy a gift voucher for their friends or whatever, maybe in different countries, or they're from the different countries. So having this gift voucher here, because they might search for this treatment and then come across this, see you've got all these options, great, okay, I need to buy a gift voucher for my friend, so they can do that there and then. So I hope that makes sense. Now the about page. The about page is a very important one, because it's about you. You're offering treatments that, you know, people are putting their faces in your hands, so you need to earn their trust, and by doing that you need to share a lot of information with them, and the about page is the way we do that online. So here I've split it all out and added all the information I think you will need to add to do that, to earn their trust. So initially just give an overview of the business. If you can inject some personality into it, more the better, because it will give you personality. It will set you apart from the corporates who don't like to have a face to their business. But I think having a face to a business really does make a difference. So especially for this kind of thing. So if you can do that, that would be great. I've got a map here just so that people know, you know, roughly where you are and that you're in Gerrards Cross. We don't need to go into any more detail than that, and because that's all on the contact page. And you know, just answering some questions that people might have. So they're like, oh yeah, I want some anti-aging work, but I don't know what that might be. So here you can talk about how you can actually have a consultation with somebody and make recommendations. So that again offers that personal service and gets that across to them. So I would recommend having something like that here. And then underneath this, your safety is paramount. It'd be a great opportunity to talk about qualifications and all the things that you do to make sure that what you do is safe and they're not going to come out with, you know, severe burns or whatever. I don't know, but you know what I mean. So that's have a think about those areas. I think they're quite important, but you might think of even better ones to add there or extra ones to add. So do let me know. And underneath here, I've got this team. I think it would be a really good idea to have pictures of all of you and a little write-up. Again, that just adds that element of security when somebody's booking for the first time. They don't know you from Adam. They need to know what to expect. So the more prepared they can be, the happier they'll be when they come in. So it's, yeah, I think obviously you'll need to get headshots of you, but I can make recommendations on the photographer, as I said before. So, and it shouldn't cost all that much at all. So I'll pass that information on to you. But let me know what you think. And underneath here we've got the clinic. So again, I'd really like to have, you know, just 4 pictures, if you can, of the clinic itself. I think it would just, again, help to give people a bit of an insight, know what they're getting into, see that you're, you know, tidy, clean and all of that. It's just little things that really help to sell something. So yeah, do take that on board and let me know if you've got any problems with that. And then, yeah, a couple of call to actions. So that should be all clear. Then on the contact page, fairly straightforward really. We've got contact details, latest tweets, social media here, opening hours, general inquiries form as before, address, how to find us, travel instructions, parking, just things that, you know, people want to know about. And if it's not on the website, you know, it just makes their life a little bit harder. So just anything to make their life easier will really make a difference. And under here I've put about cancellations and missed appointments, because it is something that people need to know about. I've wondered about it, like, oh, if I booked a hair appointment, will I, you know, am I able to cancel it? Am I going to be penalised or anything like that? So just covering that briefly here would be really useful. So just have a think about that. And here we've just got a couple more call to actions again. And then onto the gift voucher page. So if somebody clicks on book now, they'll be taken to the gift voucher page. And this is very straightforward really. So you've got a picture of the gift voucher, which we can talk about in a little bit more detail shortly. And then your price. So from the website, the current website, you've got £20, and then they can set the quantity. Just do a write-up. It'd be good to sort of list, just create a bit of desire in some way. So write that up nicely. And they set quantity and then buy now, which will take them through to the checkout process. I haven't done wireframes for that because it's all fairly standard, but we can review that obviously when it goes live. Delivery terms. So do you post it? I'm not even sure, to be honest. So I'll need you to guide me on that. I've put free delivery, just an example, or if you charge for delivery, you know, let me know, and we can add that in. We're going through PayPal for this, so just prepare people that it's going through PayPal, and then, you know, the validation of the voucher. So how long will that person, you know, be able to use it for? So that's very, very straightforward. And then the other 2 pages, the last 2 templates rather, the terms one, which is just, you know, your standard terms and conditions, so it's just a text page, very simple, and the gallery. So this is the one that you wanted the Instagram feed on. So yeah, as I said before, I haven't been able to look at your Instagram feed, so I couldn't find it. But if you could let me know the link to that, it would be good just to check it out first. And yeah, so this is just going to be a page full of your lovely images, lots of before and afters hopefully, and that's probably what I would recommend being the main thing about that. So yeah, and just the ability to load more and more and more. So very straightforward. But yes, that's all the templates that I've got. So yeah, do have a think about, or everything that's on each of the pages, and if it needs anything else, or if we need to take it away, or if you've got any other questions, just let me know. But yeah, look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.